In this video, we're going to go over how to do a background check with no credit card. And now, if you want an official background check, typically there is a fee involved, and I'm about to go over both options, no credit card and a payment-based background check. Go to sheriffsdepartment.net, because what you have available to you here are state resources for doing background checks. I'm going to grab a random state of, let's do Idaho, and majority of the states are going to have a very similar process on how to get this done. Some states are a little bit more complicated than others, just a heads up, but most of them are going to follow a very similar structure here. So the first option you have available here is, and this would be a name search, and this is instant, and it gives you a scan. It scans any person without you putting in a credit card in there. And if you decide you wanted to get a more complete record, you're able to do that also. If you scroll down a little bit lower, you have your, when it comes to a background check, you have your fundamental records you want to look at: court records, criminal records, depending on what the background check is for, driving records, business lookup, prison records, sexual offender registry. And then you have your county specific records. So if you want to find out what real estate somebody has, you could check property records. If you want to check jail records or mug shots, you can also do that, and typically a lot of these are going to be free, and so you won't need a credit card to run some of these checks. So let's start with court records and criminal records. So state of Idaho and pretty much every other state will give you the same option. You could run a background check or a fingerprint-based background check. Fingerprint-based background checks are going to cost money. These are typically for employers. A name-based background check, in this case, they do charge $20 to get a name-based background check done, so there is a payment required, but these are going to be there's not a lot of digging around that you have to do here. They will just take the state of Idaho records that they have on file and just give them to you for that specific individual. Now, if you don't want to if you don't want to pay any money, if you don't want to use a credit card, you could also look at researching court records. All the criminal records, in order to become a record, they do have to go to court. So any civil matters, any criminal matters, they all get decided in the courtroom. So you're able to research this information without a credit card. So in the case of Idaho, and a lot of states will give you either a statewide search. So as you can see, for Idaho, they got 40 counties that you can look at in a single database, which is pretty good. And in some counties you will have to do it at the county level, and a lot of times those are going to be free. So all you need is a name, and you're able to research court records, which is an essential part of a complete background check, is looking at the different court records, including civil, including criminal records. Your other things that you can look at without a credit card is business lookup, prison records, and then of course sexual offender registry. So if you want to verify to make sure somebody actually is who they say they are, if it's a contractor, you want to make sure the business is legit, you come here, you can look it up. Every state has a database like this, no credit card needed, it's free. Same thing with the Department of Corrections. If you want to see if somebody was in the prison system, these searches can also be done without a credit card, and all you need is just a last name and a first name, and you can get that done. Every state also has a sex offender registry. Sometimes local sheriff's departments and police departments will have their own databases, and these databases can be researched without having to pay money. They're free, no credit card required. So there's quite a few things that you can do without having to pull your credit card out. There's quite a few record types at the state level and at the county level that you're able to research. So I'm going to drop the link in the description. You can also just type in sheriffsdepartment.net and get started on your background check. Thanks for listening.